Hey, what up everyone, this is Mandoallday back with another video. In this video I'll be doing a little overview with Gara. I know they recently released a patch for Gara for a couple of her powers. Well, they did some changes, or as they usually say in the gaming community, they nerfed some of Gara's powers. So in this video I'll be talking about Gara, couple of her power updates, as well as answer the question, is she still good for like endgame content and so forth. So this is pre-recorded, so yeah, so let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about are the updates for Gara. So the major update, the major nerf I should say, for Gara is her fourth skill, which is mass Vitrify, which that skill no longer has a duration base. So before this update, or this patch, however you want to call it, Gara's fourth ability was that when it's fully activated, it has a certain amount of duration. Obviously, when you use mods that increase your duration, it increases the the duration of her fourth ability. But now with this update, it's no longer duration based. It's more of strength, and so or health, I should say, of the glass ring. So meaning that you can have all the mods in the world for increasing your duration, but it doesn't really matter because again, it's all about the strength. So the higher strength, the higher the health of the glass ring is going to be for the new fourth ability, which is again mass Vitrify. So that's probably the biggest update patch for Gara. It's unfortunate because her fourth ability, which is mass Vitrify, created a glass of wall, and it was really overpowered. I mean, literally, you can activate it, and then pretty much enemies won't be able to enter. But now with this update, enemies can destroy parts of it. All they have to do is shoot at it, and eventually they break that part of that glass wall. So it's a pretty big nerf because Gara was really strong, especially that fourth skill. You can literally do like a defense mission or survival, which is what I'm doing right now in this video, and you can literally, that wall can be lasted for the whole entire duration, as long as you have the duration increase, and no one will be able to break it. But with the new update, again, enemies can break parts of it, and it doesn't have a duration, which is, I guess, a good thing, but still, they definitely nerfed it. So that's the update they did for Gara. But everything else is still the same. I mean, the fourth ability is still good as is. It's just you have to change some mods to incorporate mass Vitrify's nerf and make it much stronger. So, like I said, you have to increase the strength. You have to use mods to increase the strength, so that way you can increase the health of mass Vitrify. Alright, second thing I want to talk about are the other powers. How are they while playing in-game content? They're still very good, as solid as is. First ability, which is Shattered Lash, it's still good, not good, but decent ability. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. It's just, like I said in my review, I don't really use it that much. I only use it just to shatter basically shatter Gara's fourth ability. That way it can do a lot of area damage. But other than that, I don't really use Gara's first ability, which is Shattered Lash. So it's still there. You can do quite a decent amount of damage, but it's nothing special. And the second ability for Gara is Splinter Storm. It's a still good ability. I like it a lot. It does a little bit of damage and area damage, and the good thing is you can activate it on yourself, allies, or an enemy. And so I still use it quite often. That one does. It still has the duration. So the higher duration you have on Gara, obviously the duration will increase for Splinter Storm, which is Gara's second ability. So it's still good. Again, nothing too special, but it's still good to just do a lot of area damage whenever there's enemies around you. So I still like it, and it's so effective. Now, the third ability is Spectral Rage. It's still decent. My use for it is whenever I'm like in a situation where I'm basically be going down, or well, there you go. As you can see right now, one part of the glass wall just been shattered because, like I said, that's one of the nerfs or update they did. Is now they can break parts of it. Oh, also, just a little side note is that they also increase the scaling for Gara's fourth ability, so now it actually does scale a little bit for height as well too. So yeah, keep that in mind. But anyways, like I was saying, Gara's third ability, Spectral Rage, it's still good. So if you're in a situation where you have a lot of enemies and you want to activate that power, that way enemies can attack that particular wall, or that you can activate it. So it's still a good ability. I like it, but is it really effective in game? To a certain extent, yes and no. But it's one of those abilities where you activate it quickly so that we can get yourself out of a tight situation. So, for instance, if you're in endgame content, high level enemies, and you're about to go down, activate third ability on a specific area. Enemies will get distracted, attack the classes, and that way it gives you some time for you to leave or regenerate some health or shield or energy, whatever the case may be. So it's still useful, it's still good, but it's nothing too effective. It's just one of those things where you can activate it and just quick and go type of thing. So that's that. That's third ability, and then like I mentioned, fourth ability is still good, but it just did a little bit changes. Obviously, the nerf the heck out of it. As you can see right now, some parts of the glass wall are still there, but it's broken because of the whole update. But yeah. And last but not least is the last question, which is she still good? Is she still a fun character, fun to play with, and also worthy of endgame content like sorties and so forth? Honestly, I want to say yes. She's still good. She's still strong. It's still fun. Oh, I got gunned down. But she's still good and strong. Her abilities aren't that great. Like I said in my review, they might have to do some touch-ups or kind of overview, maybe do, like I said, a couple touch-ups on her ability just to make her more, I don't want to say useful, but make her abilities more beneficial, depending on, I don't know, it's hard to say it, but like, they need to definitely reduce some of her abilities. It seems like they kind of rushed Gara for Plains of Eidolon release, which I understand why they did that, but for the most part, Gara's still fun. You can still use it for endgame content. The best uses for Gara, especially her fourth ability, is survival, which is the one you see right now, defense mission, and mobile defense. It's still good, it's still strong for that particular scenario, the particular missions. Everything else, you can use her for other mission types, but for the most part, survival, defense, and mobile defense are probably like the top 3 reasons you should use Gara for those particular missions. Because again, right now this is what I'm using survival. I'm using Gara for survival, and she's still strong. She's doing very well. Obviously, got gunned down, but again, this is sortie, so the enemies are a lot higher, a lot tougher, and they do more damage to you. But for the most part, I'm doing pretty good as is with Gara in the survival mission sorties. So she's still strong, but again, her main powers that are useful is her fourth skill, which is Mass Vitrify. Second ability, Splinter Storm, it's okay. Again, it's nothing crazy, but it's still good power to activate and do some area damage to either yourself or to an ally. The first ability, Shatter Lash, it's whatever. I mean, okay, sure. Third ability, Spectral Rage. Like I said, it's good for if you have to get out in a tight situation, activate it on an area, on an enemy, and then once they get distracted, move away and regenerate some health and so forth. But obviously the fourth skill, Mass Vitrify, is probably your best ability, and the reason why I use Gara for defense, survival, and mobile defense missions. So she's still good, she's still strong. Just make sure you have the mods that can increase her strength and a little bit of range. That way you can take full effect of this whole new patch update they did for Gara. But other than that, she's still good. I like her a lot. Her visuals and sounds are still great. It's so amazing. They did a good job in Digital Extremes on that aspect of Gara. She's still awesome to look at, but also the sound effects are amazing. And yeah, I hope I answered the question. Is Gara still worthy or is good for endgame content? Which, like I said, yes, she is. That concludes my video for Gara. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to support this channel, please do subscribe to my channel, because not only does it help the channel grow, but also means a lot to me as well. And I'll end this video with some gameplay footage, but also too, I'll end this video with kind of debunking this whole, I don't want to say myth, but this whole complaint people say about like, oh, in order for you to get the parts you need for a new Warframe, you have to farm for like 2 to 3 hours. That is complete utter bullshit. You just gotta know what you're doing, and if you don't know what you're doing, simply just ask. So I'll end this video with, again, a little bit of gameplay footage, but also too, towards the end, you will see that the rewards all the items I obtained while playing survival with one mission. Like literally takes about like 11 minutes or so. I obtained all the parts for a Warframe, so that way you guys can see for yourself and don't believe this whole people complaining that, oh, you have to farm for like 2 to 3 hours just to get the parts for the Warframe. That's complete utter bullshit. You don't have to. You just gotta know what you're doing. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.
I've delivered another life support capsule.